Hello, in this video we're going to show how by using two motor components we can put them together to generate power for an LED. You can see here that we've got our magnetic board and we've got our 4 cells already wired in series. So each cell is 1.5 volts. So potentially we have 1.5, 3, 4.5, 6 volts. We potentially have a 6 volt supply to our circuit. So first component into our circuit is a switch. You can see the circuit symbol here and you can see that we have 2 yellow terminals. That means that we can put our switch whichever way round we like and it will still operate. Next, we have our first of our 2 motors. So you can see the circuit symbol here, and you can see this time we have a black negative terminal and a red positive terminal. So it's important that we wire our motors in correctly into our circuit. Then next we have our second motor. So again, here's our circuit symbol and our black negative terminal and our red positive terminal. We're going to use a drive belt in this activity. So you can see here that we have flywheels on our motors. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to attach our drive belt, which is an elastic band, onto our motors here. Now we're going to connect our circuit together. So I'm going to connect the lead here from this terminal of our switch to the black negative terminal of our first motor here. I'm going to connect a lead from the negative terminal of our battery here to this terminal of our switch. So our switch is now connected in our series circuit. And then I'm going to connect lead from the red positive terminal of our battery pack here to the red positive terminal of our motor. Now you notice that I don't need to connect any leads to our second motor. In effect, what we're doing is that we're driving our motor from this first one. So we're actually creating a generator. So by using our drive belt, this motor, or generator as it would be now, should create an output. So first of all, let's just check that our components work. There we go. So our belts are turning. You can hear the motors. So I switch off, stop our motors. Now we can test if we're getting an output from our generator by using a multimeter. So we're going to test the voltage output. So here's our multimeter. And you can see here that we have a volts DC scale, and this is our 20 volt setting, which is the one we're going to use. We've got 3 sockets on our multimeter. One is marked COM, and we always put a lead into COM. The other one we're going to use here is marked volts, ohms and milliamps. So when we're using our multimeter as a voltmeter, we always put it in parallel to the component that we're testing. So let's put our multimeter perhaps over here. Hopefully you'll see the reading more clearly. So first of all, we'll put a lead from the black negative terminal of our generator to the COM socket of our multimeter. And then we'll put a lead from our red positive terminal of our generator to the volts, ohms and milliamp socket. So now if I turn our multimeter to the 20 volts DC setting and I switch on our circuit, you can see that currently we're having a reading of 2.3 volts. So we can adjust how our motor works by perhaps bringing our motors closer, and you might be able to hear that our motors are increasing their speed. So now we have a reading of 2.7 volts. Okay, so let's switch off our circuit, and what we can do, we can run perhaps an LED from our generator. So let's try. Here's our LED. You can see our circuit symbol here, and you can see we have a black negative terminal and a red positive terminal. So our LED, or light emitting diode, it's very important that we wire this in correctly, otherwise it won't operate at all. So we'll put our diode down here, and then we're going to wire it in parallel to our generator. So we're going to put a lead in here to our red positive terminal of our generator, to the red positive terminal of our LED. Now we're going to put a lead into the black negative terminal of our generator and connect that to the black negative terminal of our LED. So if I switch our circuit on, hopefully you can see that our LED is operating. So by putting our motors and connecting them with a drive belt, we've managed to create a generator. It's creating an output that now can run our light emitting diode.